Hi there, welcome back to What the Flick. Christy and Alonso and Jason, we are all still here. We've got very exciting breaking movie news. The Venice Film Festival lineup is out and it looks pretty spectacular. So you can plan your award season prognostications based on this, and probably a lot of these will also be at Telluride. Those have both been great launching pads for some of our awards contenders throughout the most recent years, including a movie we've talked about quite a bit on this show, which is Luca Guadagnino's remake, reboot, whatever it is, of Suspiria. I'm really, really pumped about this one. And Alfonso Cuarón's Roma, Paul Greengrass's 22 July, and there's a new Coen Brothers movie.
It's actually a Netflix project from them that was one of the Netflix things that Cannes wanted, but didn't want to do Netflix, and so that all, you know.
Oh right, because Cannes doesn't want Netflix movies.
Well, they wouldn't put them in competition, so Netflix took all their balls and went home. So they didn't give them the Coen Brothers project, they didn't give them the completed Orson Welles' Other Side of the Wind, or the Morgan Neville documentary about the making and restoration or whatever finishing of The Other Side of the Wind.
Okay.
So that's all going to be at Venice.
Okay.
And probably at Telluride in Toronto, and I think New York. Like I think it's they're covering all the other festivals as kind of an to Cannes.
It's a season, right? And also Yorgos Lanthimos' The Favorite, which we have shown the trailer for here. You are going to Venice.
I am.
What are you looking forward to seeing?
Well, I don't know what's showing on what day yet, so I don't know what I'm going to get to see, because I'll be there from like opening through, I think I leave Monday, and then it lasts like a week and a half. So. But I hope I get to see Jennifer Kent's new movie. She's the one that directed The Babadook.
Oh yes.
She has a new film called The Nightingale.
Okay.
I mean, there's a new Mike Leigh. There's a new Alfonso Cuarón. Brady Corbett's second film. His first one was really fascinating, and the title just flew out of my head. But look it up. It's really good.
Maybe it's in your Vox Lux.
Right, but it's his second film, and we saw his first one.
We're gonna look it up.
We'll come back to that. There's a new one from Florian Henkel von Donnersmarck, the guy who did
the Lives of Others.
Lives of Others and The Tourist, but you know, we won't hold that against him.
I did not hate The Tourist. Oh, Funny Games.
No, he's in Funny Games. Okay. He directed that. Keep going. There's a new Amir Kusturica movie. There's a new Errol Morris movie. The new Chai Ming Liang. Oh, Frederick Wiseman, my favorite documentarian, has a new film called Monrovia, Indiana. Did we mention that A Star Is Born is showing there?
We did not.
A Star Is Born is premiering there, so that's going to be
Are we excited for A Star Is Born?
Yes. Are you not?
I know, I totally am.
I'm curious.
Where is your curiosity peaking from?
Well, I mean, it's obviously the third remake, whatever, fourth if you count Price Hollywood. So just the idea of there being a new one is always kind of interesting. And the fact that it's like Lady Gaga's first big lead role in a movie, it's Bradley Cooper's first time directing. There's a lot of interesting variables. So none of them that's making me say, this is gonna be great, but they are all making me say, I wanna see what this is.
I think it's gonna be, I think Lady Gaga can definitely have a Golden Globe nom from this. And let's keep the ball.
That's raising the bar. Whoa.
No,
hey, let's not get crazy
award because I want to start but you want to aim high but be realistic. But from the trailers though, not to just go off on a tangent, Lady Gaga looks like she is gonna hit out the park. I'm not so much of a Bradley Cooper fan. I feel like Bradley Cooper's just playing himself, I guess, with the beard and singing kind of country music.
He's playing Jeff Bridges in Crazy Heart.
Right, or Clint Black in his movie back in the 90s, his music.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh God, I forgot about that one.
Too,
wow.
Wait, is his wife in it too? Is Clint Black?
Trisha Yearwood's wife? Was it Trisha Yearwood?
No, she's married to Garth Brooks.
Garth Brooks. Damn it.
Come on.
They're all the same.
Anyway, A Star Is Born.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
The Childhood of a Leader was Brady Corbett's first film.
Did we see that?
We did see that one.
Did we review it?
No, we saw it for that thing.
Oh, okay.
And anyway, so that was a really impressive debut film. So I'm very curious to see what his new movie is like. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff. So I hope it's all crammed in the first half when I'm there, but we'll see. I'm hearing interesting things about Jacques Audiard's The Sisters Brothers. It's a Western. Yeah, you know, Julian Schnabel, he hasn't made a film in a while.
Right, and also we talked a couple days ago about Damien Chazelle's First Man.
Yes, that's opening night.
Is opening there. So yeah, these are all like big names and big stars, and it's interesting how this and Telluride increasingly feel like they've become like the place to launch your awards prospects.
I mean, I think a lot of, if you look in years past, like a lot of stuff that we think of as being sort of Telluride or Toronto breakouts did wind up showing in Venice first. Like Brokeback Mountain showed in Venice before it premiered in Toronto, although the Toronto premieres are the one that a lot of people think of as the big deal thing. And then there was a run there where the opening night of Venice was like the Best Picture winner, like because they opened with Gravity, they opened with Birdman.
Oh wow!
It was like 3 or 4 in a row, so it's a pretty big slot.
First Man's gonna win the Best Picture.
Well, they also opened with La La Land, which was Best Picture for 30 seconds. Right. But you know,
that's interesting though. I didn't realize that that's become that much of like a bellwether for that kind of thing. Interesting.
It's a big deal fest.
All right, when does Venice happen? When do you fly out?
It's at the end of the month. It's the end of August rather. It begins on August
something.
Something.
We'll keep an eye out.
The last Wednesday, whatever that is.
Alonso
what
will
am I, a
send
calendar? I don't know.
Alonso will send us dispatches, I'm sure, and as well as his gelato reviews.
Yes.
If you follow Linoleum Knife on
Linoleum
Instagram.
Cast on Instagram, follow my gelato adventures. Yes, but I know I'm gonna try and do some like Facebook Live or send some videos or something from over there.
Please do.
Okay. They'll drop in the middle of the night, just so you know.
In other movie news, there's going to be a Deadwood movie, and Deadwood went off the air like 12 years ago, but I guess for a long time now, there's been talk of it, there's been planning of it, there's been hope for it. Now we've learned today that HBO has greenlit a Deadwood movie. Is this something that we are excited about? I never actually saw Deadwood, but I have been to Deadwood, South Dakota.
All right. I've never seen it either, and you know, let me finish The Wire first. Let me start The Wire and then finish The Wire, and then I'll watch Deadwood. But no, I need to watch Deadwood. I hope Kim Dickens is getting a gig out of this. So it's, you know, she was on that show.
The 36 episodes, 9 Emmy wins. I mean, I'm sure I think that especially 12 years is a long time for people to be like, oh, okay, you know, and then it's like the nostalgia factor because that show on HBO, The Comeback with Lisa Kudrow and Off the Air for Forever, right? 2005, and it comes back like 10 years later, and people are like, wow, I missed this, I'm here for it. Even a bigger success. So I think this could be a thing for HBO at the movies.
Yes.
Yeah, I think this is one of those shows that probably the numbers while it was airing were good but not great as far as like, that's why it only lasted a couple seasons. But its reputation has only grown, and certainly I think in the context of what people like to call the difficult men sort of genre of television, you know, I think it's one that people can keep going back to and talking about. So yeah, you know, and obviously it's been streaming on HBO Go and everything for years, so people have been catching up on it, so yeah.
It's got an incredible cast. I mean, Ian McShane and Timothy Olyphant and Molly Parker and John Hawkes, who cannot help but be excellent.
And Robin Weigert.
Yeah, so for those of you playing at home, Deadwood took place in the 1870s in Deadwood, South Dakota. It was a Western. People liked it. I don't know.
We didn't watch it. And we didn't watch it.
Ben needs to be here. He was a big fan of the show. He would have lots of bon mot about it.
He'd be very excited. Yeah. So the new coming out today. So right now the TCA, the big summer press tour, where they promote all their upcoming television things. So this is what this news is coming out of. HBO programming president Casey, is it Casey Bloys?
I believe so.
All right. Announced today. So saying all these people worked hard to get this together. It's been a logistics nightmare getting all the cast members schedules together.
Oh, I bet.
But we are there. It is greenlit. So we talked recently about how there is going to be a Downton Abbey TV show. Now there is, I'm sorry, rather a movie. Yeah. Now there's going to be a Deadwood movie. Are we going to run into the same situation where they're trying to cram everything in to please everyone, or could this be a satisfying little nugget unto itself?
As long as it's done right, Christy, I think that's a great question because people want, again, nostalgia. We watch these shows, we love these shows. When they go off the air, we kind of like are depressed and go through that FOMO emotion for a long time. So I think if it's done right, if the writing's right, if the creative is right, absolutely.
And if the characters were always interesting, there's always places to send them, and ways to kind of keep the story going that feel organic. And I would imagine for both Deadwood and Downton Abbey, you could do that without, twisting yourself in the knots. I think they loan themselves to an extension.
All right, cool. Well, they're gonna start shooting in October. They're aiming for a spring 2019 air date, but that is not set in stone. So we will keep track of the Deadwood movie.